Hi to everyone and welcome to this Boyd Corporation and 3M webinar. Okay, right now I'd like to introduce today's presenters. First up today is Nick Johnson. Nick is a research specialist at 3M Display Materials and Systems Division. He received a BS in Applied Physics from Bethel University in St. Paul, Minnesota, and a Master's in Optical Science and Engineering from the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. Now, after graduation, he worked for Lockheed Martin in their maritime systems and sensors business. He joined 3M in 2011 and has developed components and systems for a broad range of display applications. Most recently, Nick is focused on automotive display light control solutions, including LCD backlighting technologies and front-of-screen technologies. Next up, we have Magnus Tedestedt. Magnus is a Vice President of Sales and Electronics at Boyd Corporation. He joined Tradex in 2000, initially as a key account manager, but quickly took on increasingly important positions within sales, marketing, and manufacturing. He opened the first Tradex sales and engineering office in Singapore. It was instrumental in guiding the company's global sales and marketing structure. He spent a number of years in Shanghai as the Director of Asia Pacific OEM Electronics for Brady Corporation and also garnered valuable sales leadership experience in the U.S., Brazil, and Mexico. In his current role, Magnus brings applicable leadership and technical skills to the electronics and Asian sales teams, having spent most of his career working within the very OEMs and targets assigned. Using his knowledge and relationships to expand Boyd's presence within the critically important mobile computing market, as well as other core and adjacent segments like consumer electronics and data storage. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in marketing from the University of Southern Mississippi. Now, also joining us today is Klaus Endren. Klaus is the Business Development Executive at Boyd Corporation. Klaus has been in the converting industry for over 2 decades, holding product process development and management roles at AB Tradex Converting and Brady Corporation, located in Sweden. Joining Boyd Corporation in 2014, his technical and engineering expertise have allowed him to hold numerous roles, from global product and process development engineer to global key account manager. He's currently located out of the Bay Area in California and engages and collaborates closely with Boyd's global sales, operations, and supply chain to lead new innovating solutions to their mobile computing and electronics customers around the world. Nick, Magnus, and Klaus, welcome to today's event. Now, to get this webinar started, here's a short video about the Boyd Corporation. Enjoy.
For over 90 years, Boyd Corporation has empowered the world's fastest-growing markets with revolutionary innovation in advanced thermal management and environmental sealing solutions. Boyd is dedicated to designing and fabricating solutions that optimize performance, increase reliability, improve energy efficiency, extend product life cycles, and protect and enhance the safety of end products for the most well-known and valuable brands around the world. By leveraging proprietary technology, application engineering expertise at the forefront of innovation, and decades of market experience, Boyd designs and delivers solutions that solve complex customer challenges. Boyd's wide array of solutions cool, seal, shield, adhere, insulate, and protect sensitive components in many of the end products that you use or encounter today. Our solutions make the Internet of Things movement possible by ensuring batteries don't overheat, ruggedizing electronic devices to withstand consumer use, enabling mobile displays to maintain maximum resolution and functionality, and streamlining data centers to operate at sustainable temperatures for faster processing speeds. We facilitate technological advancements across highly diversified industries, including the medical industry, where we ensure that devices perform safely and reliably, aerospace applications, where we enable safe and comfortable flights, agriculture equipment, where we help preserve natural resources and optimize output, consumer electronics, where we reduce noise and improve device life cycles, autonomous and electric vehicles, where we push advancements in research and development, and countless other industries, where we strive to improve performance and reliability of all applications. Engineers at Boyd utilize nearly 250 patents and produce solutions for more than 3,000 specialty materials, including graphite, advanced foams and polymers, multi-layer films, aluminum, copper, and many other high-performance materials. As a result, Boyd solutions are tailored for the unique performance, assembly, and delivery needs of each individual customer. Boyd partners with customers early during the design process, often accelerating development cycles, ensuring fully optimized designs, and improving time to market. Combined with our experience in prototyping and design for manufacturing, we seamlessly transition concepts to full-scale production efficiently and effectively. We solve performance and production challenges that others say are impossible at speeds yet to be replicated. We innovate to solve the challenges of today and empower the solutions for tomorrow. Global operations include dozens of manufacturing facilities and engineering design centers, as well as clean room capabilities from Class 100 to 100,000 across 3 continents, making Boyd locally available in your global environment and optimized for your complex value chains. The proliferation of innovative electronics, combined with disruptive trends across a wide variety of industries, are changing the technological landscape. Mobile devices, electric and autonomous vehicles, hyperscale data centers, next-generation aircraft, telecommunications equipment, and cutting-edge consumer electronics, matched with Boyd's unprecedented technological leadership in thermal management and environmental sealing solutions, are creating our roadmap to the future. As our customers redefine their markets, unique solutions from Boyd will empower them to be possible. Boyd Corporation. One company, many solutions.
My name is Nick Johnson, and I'm with 3M's Display, Material, and Systems Division. And I'm here to talk about our automotive display and sensor products and development efforts. We have a rich history in the automotive industry, working with customers to help solve their biggest challenges, starting with 3M abrasives in 1914, the first automotive masking tape in 1925, and continuing to today. DMSD has historically focused on displays, selling products that make displays more efficient, brighter, extend battery life, and even control where the light goes and where it doesn't, keeping display information from prying eyes or from reflecting off automotive windscreens. Next, we'll take a look inside a typical LCD and see where you can find 3M products. If you open a typical LCD, you'll find a reflector, LEDs that inject light into a light guide, a bottom diffuser above that, then 1 or 2 prism films, and a reflective polarizer. Of these films, 3M sells reflectors that are broadband and over 98% reflective, prism films called brightness enhancement films or BEF, and reflective polarizers. In the following slides, we'll discuss each one of these products in more detail. Our current products fall into 5 categories. DBEF, or dual brightness enhancement film, is our reflective polarizer product, which is placed right under the absorbing polarizer of the display and recycles unwanted polarization instead of allowing it to get absorbed by the absorbing polarizer. BEF, or brightness enhancement film, is our prismatic film that acts as a recycling angle filter. ESR, or enhanced specular reflector, is our reflector product that has over 98% reflectance across the visual spectrum. KEF is our contrast enhancement film. It's an optically clear adhesive that allows you to bond the cover glass to the display, removing multiple reflections. ALCF, or advanced light control film, is our automotive light control film that limits light that would otherwise reflect off of the windscreen and create a floating image of your display at night. Getting into more detail of this in the stack again, you can see the reflector again is on bottom. You have 2 sheets of BEF above the diffuser and our dual brightness enhancement film right under the LCD display and the rear polarizer. So if you look at the path that light takes, typically you'd have LEDs that would inject light into the light guide. That light would leave the light guide at a very steep angle. The diffuser would turn that light slightly up towards the axial viewer and broaden it. That light then enters the BEF, which again refracts it even further towards the viewer and constrains it to a narrow view angle so that it's bright on axis. The last thing is the DBEF, which will recycle unwanted polarization back down into the backlight, which then goes through birefringent films, reflects off the reflector, and has another chance to get through in the right polarization state. Taking a closer look at our DBEF films, you'll see in the picture on the left what would happen with and without our DBEF film in the backlight. So without the DBEF, the randomly polarized light from the backlight will hit the rear polarizer of the display, and the preferred polarization state will get through to the viewer, but the rest will be absorbed, limiting the efficiency and brightness of that display. With DBEF in the backlight, now that unwanted polarization state will be reflected and recycled back into the backlight, where it travels through birefringent materials and has another chance to get out to the viewer. So this effect can increase the display efficiency by 30 to 40%, as well as brightness, improves user experience and view angle. We have a number of different SKUs that are at different thicknesses, different substrates, and different haze levels. On the bottom right, you'll see two potential display configurations. One is with cross BEF. You can see it's narrower in the horizontal in the conoscopic output. That would be for a display that's meant to be viewed primarily on axis. Another display configuration is to use just one sheet of BEF for a broader view angle in the horizontal, where you might have viewers off axis in the horizontal, like a TV or an automotive center stack display. And here's a video showing that recycling effect from DBEF. So if you have a backlight system, light that hits a rear polarizer, only the correct polarization state gets through, but with a reflective polarizer, it's recycled back to the backlight and has a second, a third, a fourth chance to get through. Our future reflective polarizer product for auto is called DLRP, Direct Laminate Reflective Polarizer. This product features an improved reflective polarizer and is meant to be laminated directly to the rear polarizer. What this allows is a higher efficiency reflective polarizer, and it limits the depolarization that might happen after the reflective polarizer. So this product, if you remove DBEF and now put DLRP in directly on the rear polarizer, you could see a 10 to 15% increase in brightness and efficiency. Moving on now to our brightness enhancement films, or BEF. BEF is a prismatic film that acts as a recycling angle filter that increases forward brightness. So if you had a diffuse output, it only lets light out in a narrow view cone headed towards the on-axis viewer. It increases uniformity and hides backlight defects by recycling light in the backlight. Again, our BEF films come in a number of different SKUs, depending on the pitch, the thickness, haze, and index of refraction, which also affects gain. Effective transmission, the number up at the top of that chart, is also sometimes called gain. It determines how bright the display will look on axis. So you can get a higher gain or higher axial brightness with the trade-off of view angle. And here's a video showing how BEF increases the output collimation of a display. Our enhanced specular reflector product, or ESR, is a highly efficient reflector. So if you've got all these films, DBEF and BEF, recycling light Back into the backlight, you want a very efficient reflector to recycle that light and get it out to the viewer. Our ESR, it's a multi-layer optical film, kind of like a reflective polarizer, but will reflect both polarization states. It reflects broadband over the whole visual spectrum, and it's highly reflective, 98% reflective. Kind of a cool thing you can do to visualize both its high degree of reflectivity and its broadband properties over the whole optical spectrum would be to roll a piece of ESR up into a tube and put an LED at one end. You can see in the picture down in the center that there's three tubes rolled up. One is ESR, another is aluminum, and another is silver. You can see the ESR tube, by the time the light gets to the end of that tube, it's still a bright white, so its color hasn't changed and it's lost very little light traveling that path. With aluminum and silver, you can see it's much dimmer and it's changed color because of the absorption that's different across the optical spectrum. Again, there's a number of different SKUs depending on thickness. Thicker film will be more rigid for a larger display, but will be, obviously the trade-off there is thickness of the display. And here's a video showing how our ESR works and showing its broadband properties from the multi-layer optics. Contrast enhancement film, or CEF, is an optically clear adhesive. The reason we call it contrast enhancement film is because without optical bonding, a typical display will have three reflection interfaces. So ambient light will reflect off the top surface of the cover glass, the back surface of the cover glass, and the top surface of the LCD. When you bond those the cover glass with the LCD, you remove two of those three reflection interfaces, essentially reducing 2/3 of the reflected light, leaving you with a better contrast and more vivid display. It also improves stability and rigidity by bonding over the entire surface rather than bonding the cover glass just around the perimeter. Again, we have a number of products for different applications, such as UV curable, pressure sensitive. Some are made with a low dielectric constant as well. And for more specifics, again, reach out to a 3M application engineer who can help you with your specific application. Advanced Light Control Film, or ALCF, helps reduce unwanted reflections from the windscreen, reducing driver distraction. In this video, you'll see the difference between a standard display and a display with ALCF. On the right, you'll see a standard display is clearly visible as a reflected image off of the windscreen, whereas on the left-hand side, with the 3M ALCF solution in the display, there are no longer reflections of the display in the windscreen. This figure shows a typical display stack versus a display stack using ALCF. A typical display stack might have a bottom diffuser, BEF, and DBEF. A display stack using ALCF would have a bottom diffuser, BEF, and ALCF. ALCF A+ products have a reflective polarizer built in, so there's no need to use two films, a DBEF and a louver film, or ALCF. Instead, you can remove the DBEF and place ALCF A3+ in its place. Our ALCF products work kind of like miniature Venetian blinds. You can see in the picture on the left that light that comes in on axis or near on axis gets through, while light that comes from high angle is blocked. We have two current products, ALCF A2+ and A3+, that have slightly different thickness and haze levels. Down at the bottom, you'll see three different display stacks. One is a traditional display stack with cross BEF. You can see it's collimated in both the vertical and horizontal direction. The next has only one sheet of BEF running horizontal. You can see that this lets the light out to a wider horizontal extent. Then when you place ALCF on top of that sheet of BEF in place of the DBEF, you can see that it cuts off the angles in the top and bottom so that no light is heading up towards the windscreen. We're currently launching a new product called ALCF A4 Plus with a slightly tilted louver design, meant to allow light out at a slightly higher vertical angle. This is because viewers in an automotive cockpit are usually above the displays. So this new product will better align the viewer position with the display output. It also improves brightness and efficiency in the automotive angular zones defined by the DFF. So you can see A+, A, and B zones are now brighter with ALCF A4+. Now we're going to talk about some of our new product development efforts, starting with sensor camouflage. IR sensors are becoming more important in automotive cockpits, with eye tracking, attention monitoring, and gesture control. These sensors and their light sources can be a visual distraction, however, and break up the look of the cockpit. 3M camo film can help hide these sensors behind something that looks like trim, a black bezel, or other cockpit features. It works by blocking the visible light while allowing the infrared light to pass. Our enhanced camouflage film can come in a variety of styles and colors as seen below, even a metallic silver. This video shows how our camouflage film works. In the video you'll see a near IR camera, a near IR LED source, and an object that camera is imaging. You can see that the camera sees the object just fine until you put a piece of white paper in front of it, which blocks the object. Now, if you use a piece of our white camo film and place that in front of the IR camera, you can see that it blocks our visibility, but it doesn't block visibility of the IR camera. And the same thing with our black camo film. Again, the camera has clear visibility to the object in front of it. And just to show the variety of colors, we put a colored film in front. Again, these sensor camouflage films can come in a variety of colors and styles. Next, we'll talk about our new product we developed for rear view mirror displays. Displays integrated into rear view mirrors are becoming more common. The conventional approach is to hide a display behind a half mirror. The problem with this approach is that the half mirror blocks half the light of the display behind it. 3M's reflective polarizer mirror solves this problem. RPM is a reflective polarizer that blocks one polarization state while transmitting another. By aligning the path axis of RPM with the linearly polarized output of the display, you can get a 50 to 60% increase in brightness over the half mirror approach. Furthermore, RPM can enable unique solutions in which you can actually turn off the reflection of the mirror before you turn on the display. One unique requirement of RPM is in its optical flatness, which is required for a high quality reflected image. A normal reflective polarizer used as a brightness enhancement film in a display is not designed with this in mind. For RPM, we did a lot of work to reduce any surface waviness so that it can produce a high quality, correct image. If you look at the image below, you'll see a normal current reflective polarizer produces a wavy image of the grid pattern, whereas the improved RPM produces a much cleaner reflected image. A heads-up display, or HUD, is a display that reflects an image off of the windscreen to produce information that is floating above the dashboard in the driver's viewpoint. 3M is creating a suite of products to improve the visual experience, reduce heat load, and improve efficiency. The first product I'd like to talk about is RPM. Although RPM can be used in a mirror application, it can also be used in the LCD of a HUD. LCDs and HUDs have incredibly bright backlights that produce a very high luminous flux. Because of this, any light that is absorbed by the absorbing polarizer and is turned into heat can produce a very high heat load on the LCD. RPM can help reduce this by having a very efficient block state. Light that gets through a reflective polarizer in the block state will be absorbed by the absorbing polarizer and converted to heat. You can see with DBEF, 8.9% of block state light will pass through DBEF and be absorbed then by the absorbing polarizer. In comparison, RPM has only 0.3% of block state light passing through the reflective polarizer, more than an order of magnitude reduction in the amount of light that is now absorbed by the reflective polarizer and converted to heat. The next product I'd like to talk about is cold mirror film, or CMF. In a HUD system, there are multiple mirrors that reflect light and focus it to the viewer. That same mirror system can also focus sunlight back down onto the LCD, creating a large heat load on that LCD. CMF works by efficiently reflecting only visible light and only light in the polarization of the output of the LCD, which means half the light in the visible will pass through CMF and not reflect down to the LCD. Also, IR light will fully transmit through CMF. This greatly reduces the amount of solar energy that reaches the LCD. In the table on the left, you'll see that with a traditional cold mirror, 48% of solar radiance will reach the LCD, otherwise known as a PGU or Picture Generation Unit. Whereas with 3M's CMF film, only 28% of solar radiance reaches the PGU. Furthermore, with CMF, PGU transport is actually increased. PGU transport means the amount of light that continues on towards the viewer after the display light reflects off of the mirror. Here on the graph you can see that CMF has lower solar irradiance, yet a higher transport, making a brighter display with lower heat load. This slide shows the reflectivity of CMF in both the pass and the block state. The block or reflective state, you can see, is the dark blue line. You can see in the visible spectrum is highly reflective, which is why it has a high PGU transport. Outside of the visible spectrum, reflectivity drops off and it's now highly transmissive. So in the near IR and IR, light will pass straight through CMF. And in the other polarization state, the pass state, it's highly transmissive across the whole spectrum. The last product I want to talk about is windscreen combiner film, or WCF. WCF is a film meant to be applied to the windscreen to enhance a HUD image, making it sunglass readable, removing double image or ghosting, and enabling a larger visible area and larger viewer box. In the next slide, we'll see a video that describes how a HUD works and how windscreen combiner film can enhance a HUD. Conventional HUDs use S-polarized light to reflect off the windscreen to the viewer. The issue with this is that sunglasses are meant to block S-polarized light and can make the HUD image appear dim and unreadable. To solve this, windscreen combiner film can be placed in the windscreen glazing, which allows P-polarized light to reflect off of the windscreen. This allows for P-polarized HUDs, which would be readable with or without sunglasses. Another issue with conventional HUD is that there are reflections off of both sides of the windscreen, creating a double image or ghost image. To solve this, a wedge PVB is put in the windscreen glazing so that that double image is focused to the viewer, reducing ghosting. The problem with that is a solution for only one viewer position. Windscreen combiner film, because the reflection happens off of only one interface, doesn't have a ghosting problem, and so the viewer box is much wider and can be viewed from any location. This not only allows a larger view box, but it also allows for HUDs that can display much larger HUD images. In addition to WCF, another multi-layer optical film can be added that rejects solar radiation. Windscreen combiner film can be placed in either a section or over the whole windscreen. And that concludes the overview of 3M display and sensor products. I want to thank Boyd for giving us the opportunity to share with you today, and for the critical role they play in helping to deliver these innovative solutions to the customer. Thank you for listening, and for more information, go to the website on the screen.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nick. Now let's pass things over to Magnus and Klaus for a brief overview of Boyd Corporation and their precision converting capabilities for automotive experience and e-mobility solutions. So Magnus, go right ahead.
Good day, everyone. My name is Magnus Tedestedt. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Mobile Electronics at Boyd. Today, we're going to give you a brief overview of Boyd Corporation and our capabilities specifically that caters towards automotive and e-mobility solutions. Boyd today is a leading global provider of highly engineered specialty material, enabled thermal management, and environmental sealing solutions. We're $1 billion on the revenue line. We're privately held by Goldman Sachs, who acquired Boyd 3 months ago. We offer today a comprehensive design and material expertise, rapid prototyping capabilities where we can, in many cases, give samples in less than 24 hours. We offer a deep technical expertise with over 300 design and product engineers and over 50 PhDs around the world. We utilize over 3,000 unique active materials. That includes plastics, rubbers, foams, graphite, adhesive films, metals, and specialty thermal materials. And we'll talk much more about this later on in the presentation. Roughly 75% of our revenues come from proprietary solutions and patented products. We are a very global company. We have a footprint that spans across the Americas, Europe, and Asia, including 26 manufacturing facilities on 3 continents. We are a trusted design and innovation partner for many of the world's most well-known brands, and we partner with about 50% of the top 50 most innovative companies in a number of different segments. Here's a brief overview of some of the acquisitions that Boyd has made over the years, and I'm not going to cover all of these, but I think a few key ones to mention here is in 2014, Boyd acquired an Asian and European die-cut business from a company called Brady. This provided the access to the mobile computing market for Boyd and enhanced our footprint and technical capabilities primarily in Asia. In 2017, Boyd made a major acquisition of Avid Thermaloy that basically doubled the size of Boyd. And Avid is a leader in diversified high-performance thermal management solutions with specific emphasis on custom engineering designs. This is where we have many of our PhDs and many of our patents sits in this product, the Avid Thermaloy product group. And then earlier this year, we were very excited that we acquired Action Fabricators, which provided Boyd customers with access to industry-leading automotive and medical customers in the United States. So 2 main locations for Action. One is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the other one is down in Gallatin, Tennessee, outside of Nashville. Our global footprint and capabilities enable us to serve our customers very well around the world. Today, we basically have 26 facilities with about 2.5 million square feet of space spread across the globe with 13 sites in North America, 3 in Europe, and 9 in Asia, spread across China, Korea, India, Thailand, and Vietnam. We have currently 4 sites in China, 1 in Korea. We have 2 in India, 1 under construction, 1 in Thailand, and 1 in Vietnam. And this will continue to expand, I'm sure, in the upcoming years with the ownership of Goldman Sachs. Just to show a brief overview, that we have all the quality certifications. Some facilities are ITAR certified, which I think is quite good from our traceability perspective. Obviously ISO 9001. We have IATF 16949 certified facilities in Fairburn, Georgia, Gaffney, South Carolina, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and in China, both our facilities in Shanghai and Wuxi are IATF 16949 certified. The other thing is worth mentioning is that we are expert in clean room manufacturing, where we have for years been producing components for the hard drive industry that has the highest standard of clean room requirements in the world, and we've been able to leverage that across mobile solutions, medical type products. So we offer clean rooms from all the way from class 1K to class 100K. I look at Boyd's core manufacturing competencies, and I bucket them always into 3 buckets. The first one, which we'll talk a lot more later on in this deck, is our precision converting. This is basically fabricating and combining high-performance raw materials into custom-designed solutions for specific OEM performance challenges. The other one is what we call metal science, or this is where I would bucket in the whole AVID product line, where we're casting, fabricating, machining, and coating metals into thermal management components and assemblies with standard or custom design options. And then the third one, which is the major bucket for our production in North America primarily, is what we call the polymer science. It's basically transforming rubber and plastic and foam compounds into 3D shapes for customized solutions for specific OEM applications. So basically, the 2 key product categories to enhance and protect a variety of the end products that we serve looks like this. So on the left side, you have the thermal management, or the AVID product line. It's about 43% of our revenues. This is where we find products like heat sinks, heat pipes, and vapor chambers. AVID was the company that actually invented the vapor chambers. We can do them all the way from quite thick all the way down to now 0.4 millimeters in thickness. We offer heat exchangers, liquid cold plates, and we also manufacture and design a wide variety of fans for different types of devices. And on the other side, what we call environmental sealing, this would be our precision die cutting or fabricating products and our rubber molded capabilities, where we have display adhesives and precision gaskets, EMI, RFI type products, electrical insulators. We offer a product line called EK Seals. It's actually a patented product line for the slide outs on the RVs. If anybody has one of those, it's definitely a Boyd product. So a wide variety of products that we offer, and you can bucket them into basically these 2 categories. We see that there are a number of multiple long-term powerful market trends that align very well with Boyd's value proposition and our core capabilities. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but I think a couple of key ones where we see a lot of growth today and in the future is in the OLED display penetration, where our technology, and primarily around advanced rotary die cutting, we offer a number of different advanced thermal management and solutions that it needs to be thinner and solve problems as the OLED screens get hotter and the devices keeps getting hotter. We see a lot of growth in the 5G wireless rollout is coming here in the next few years. We're offering a lot of different type of environmental and thermal management solutions for these types of applications, and of course in the vehicle electrification and advanced driver assistance systems such as LiDAR and so forth. We have a number of products and capabilities that will serve these markets very well in the years to come. And now I'm going to turn over the presentation over to Claes Andren, who will discuss more in detail Boyd's precision converting capabilities and also solutions that are specific for e-mobility. So Claes, please take it away.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining. As Magnus mentioned, my name is Claes Andren and I've been with Boyd for almost 5 years and in the converting industry for more than 20 years, with numbers of different roles, such as product process development, engineering, marketing and sales. I'm going to give you an overview of Boyd's capabilities and solutions, seen today within the electrification and autonomous and electrical vehicles. Also an overview of how we convert optical films, like the 3M discussed adhesives and other materials within the electronics and the automotive industry. Boyd do have a great reputation of manufacturing very high quality, tightly specified converted components with complex designs, utilizing the best-in-class equipment to the major electronics OEMs. We have the ability to slit, laminate materials in-house and convert on high-precision rotary die-cut equipment. We are also very flexible in manufacturing systems, enable rapid prototyping and smaller production lots, with usage of waterjet, laser, CNC, 3D printing, soft tooling, flatbed, and rotary die cutting. We are also strategically near customer design centers around the world, do have the capability to turn samples within 48 hours. Boyd Advanced Rotary Die Cutting. Material saving, tight tolerance control, design flexibility, and product integration, where we are able to support design to combine multiple products into one product delivery. This to improve assembly efficiency and quality. These are great examples of areas on how we can support DFM to secure best-in-class mass production, efficiency, and quality. Here you can see an efficient way of save higher cost materials to improve total product cost. We are able to die cut products with very tight distance between and then spread them out on a liner to meet customer required layouts for best assembly methods. Here is another great example of an application where Boyd have developed a unique process technique to manufacture adhesive frames such as display bonding adhesives, with much better material utilization compared to traditional manufacturing techniques to improve total part cost significantly. Same time, while not compromising important required features such as mechanical bonding strength, dust and water ingression, dimension tolerances, and delivery format. As you can see here on the lower right, we are able to join segments without any gap and no overlap secured mechanically. This makes Boyd unique in this area, and this has been very well received by the consumer market leaders who have been continuously asking for cost-saving improvements on these particular high-cost applications. Make sure to have Boyd frame design in mind when jumping into larger adhesive frames like this. As we all know, tight tolerance control is an important factor when designing high-quality products into today's devices. So we are able to meet tolerances down to 0.05 millimeter. Design flexibility. This is also an important feature, enable us to design multiple stack-up materials with different shapes in one process step. Same time, offering very tight tolerance control down to plus minus 0.05 millimeter tolerance. Here's an example of design flexibility and product integration on a graphite heat spreader. We do offer graphite thicknesses down to 17 micron with ultra thin PETs with color matching and double-sided adhesives down to 2 micron thickness. Here you can see the flexibility on design on material stack up. There are multiple materials with different sizes, same time integrating additional products like a foam gasket here. This kind of processes we're able to do in one manufacturing process step. Due to high requirements on assembly efficiency and quality, Boyd have the process technique to manufacture multiple products into one product delivery. So here you can see a product made in one process step. It's a lens bonding adhesive with 2 additional sealing gaskets and 1 speaker mesh. This is combined. This is a great opportunity to design a product when you can both save in cost and improve quality during assembly. So instead of 4 steps of assembly, you can reduce that to 1 here in this case. We also have great capabilities of die cutting optical clear adhesives. We're able to customize OCA products with bubble-free converting, high yield, high precision, high speed and high capacity. With all kind of features from very soft materials to stiffer. Thicknesses from 50 to 175 micron. Even here it's supported with tight tolerances, so we can manage plus minus 0.1 millimeter, high yield, and of course bubble-free converting. We are today supplying optical clear adhesives to the worldwide electronic consumer leaders. I will end this presentation by going through some slides where we can see our die-cut products applied today and potentially can be used. So as you can see here, here's the driver monitor solutions. We have LCD gaskets, we have seals gasket for cameras and sensor. We have NFC ferrite materials, we have EMI absorbers, etc. So there's a lot of applications we can support with here. Next one, heads-up display solutions. We went through it before. Optical clear adhesives, obviously, graphite heat spreaders. We have thermal conductors and shields, screen and surface protectors, metallic heat spreaders as well. So same here, a lot of potential applications. E-mirror solutions. Bonding is obviously important here. We do the window adhesives. That's great examples. Thermal management, TIMs, thermal interface materials, protective tapes again, camera gaskets, etc. Cabin experience solutions, a lot of similar products here. EMI absorbers, sunroof seals is one thing. We can do support with thermal management, liquid cooling on board computing systems, for example, interior trims. As you can see on this last slide, there are a lot of exterior automotive applications that we provide. Automotive O-rings, many types of thermal management systems, NVH applications, all kind of seals and gaskets, exterior molding, and high-tech solutions for cameras, mirrors, sensors, and lighting found in e-mobility. Last, I want to thank all of you that have been joining this webinar, and also 3M for the presentation and great partnership with Boyd. If you have any questions about what we have discussed in this presentation, or if you are working on a program and need for prototyping, design, engineering support, you can go into our website, www.boydcorp.com, contact us via email at customerservice@boydcorp.com, or by phone at 888-244-6931. Thank you.
Okay, Nick Johnson, Magnus Tedestedt, and Klaus Andren, thanks so much for taking some time to be here with all of us today. Take care and have yourselves a great day.